My sport is slalom canoe kayak, and huwa na train kwa Tana River, a stretch called Sagana. We call it Sagana around here. I started canoe kayaking long time ago, around 13-15 years ago, and I have participated in World Championship, Africa Championships, and not yet on Olympics, but I'm looking forward for that. My home haiko mbali sana na River Sagana, so I used to swim, kufetch maji karibu na mto, so kucheza swimming kidogo kidogo karibu na mto. Then I used to see people kayaking and rafting down the Tana River. Then I was like, wow, it's a good sport, I can join in. Then I met a certain guy, he's my coach right now, and I can introduce to kwa slalom. With slalom canoe kayak, you have a boat, a paddle, and you have like the cockpit cover yenye unakava nayo your kayak, so that maji haiwezi ingia uki row ama uki paddle. Then we have two types of kayak. We have the kayak and the canoe. Now with the canoe, it's the one you go on your knees, you strap yourself, then you cover the cockpit using a single bladed paddle. With the kayak, you slide with your feet pointing to the front side of your kayak, then you have a double bladed paddle, and again you cover the cockpit. Yeah. With the sport, it's a new sport in Kenya, so not everyone who knows it, so it's a challenge for you to go to someone and you can explain slalom canoe kayak. But with the club, they had some old kayaks, we have been using them and training with what we can, ama tunafanya tu training tu ya kawaida. But for now, as you can see, the water level is too high. It's hard for us to train, but when it goes a little bit low, we do set like a course. The course will be hanging poles. You have to go through. Some of them are like green poles. You have to go through them towards the downstream side of the current. With the red poles, it's an upstream. You have to do like a U-turn, yeah? So let's say imekuwa hard to train up, but when you get a chance to go and paddle to a different country ama different place, experience bado inaendelea tu kiongezeka. It was a big thing for me, let's say being the first Kenyan to participate in semi-finals with what or the training we have back in our country. I think, yeah, it's a big thing to me. We had a chance to train out there before the competition. I'm sure it helped a lot as well. Let's say if we get like proper equipment and all that, a course as well, that will boost our sport massively. And I'm sure in Kenya we can get people going to Olympics, and this sport is growing for sure. We are in good books of slalom kayaking and whitewater kayaking as well. So happy, and I'm looking forward to have some equipment, and with this offer, I think I've never gotten such a big thing since I started my sport, but I'm sure this will give us a very big boost on what to do.
How do you think this?
Happy getting people like Tujiamini and the kind of like how they are funding sports and helping. I think it's a good thing for me, and I'm just happy for it. I have done few World Championships, and I have been to Spain 3 times for World Championship. I have been to Slovakia for World Championship as well. But last year I was in a Africa Championship, which was Olympic qualifiers as well, in Reunion of Africa. I became position 3 on World Championship, on Africa Championship, and yeah, it's heading up to the right direction. Before the 2028, I'm still waiting to see whether we're gonna get a wild card to go for 2024 Olympics, but it's just a few months before the Olympics. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna get it or not, so still waiting. If not 2024, we will be ready for 2028.
The entire sport, we have different bodies actually that stand for the sport. So we under a body called Kenya Rowing and Canoe Association. So we are doing only canoe. So this is a particular canoe, we call it white water. It's more extreme because we have flat water at the same time, which is also canoe. But now what Samuel is doing is slalom. It means the white water means the very fast water. So that is actually what he has been doing. He has been doing also 2 categories, that is a K1 and C1. I think I saw him with the paddle now. He's going to do something called C1. So that is, you located the right person, because as coach actually for this extreme sport, you have other people who are training, but you also target for the talent. So you, for this one, you have to have, for you to compete with other international and other people who are competing well, very well, you have to focus to somebody who have actually the talent. Samuel is actually one of them. And actually he's talented, he's well talented on the water sports. Even from when we began with him when he was in primary school, but when we spotted him when he was very young, because for me to become a coach also, actually I was also competing. I was also an athlete one day. So that is a progressing in terms of what we are sporting. We have been having a lot of challenges as usual actually. As you mentioned about the equipment, they're very expensive. It's not a very cheap sport, quite expensive. Boots, helmet, life jacket, other tires that he used actually, they are quite expensive. Number one, you get them from overseas. They are not available in Kenya. Or maybe in Africa, so we get them from Europe or maybe America. So you find that one makes us to have more challenge in terms of competition. So what you've been doing is like as he train, we have to use what actually you're using, the equipment that you're using, limited equipment. That's why you're saying he's still doing very well. Then about the course itself, you see it's seasonal, because sometimes like now you're saying we don't have to set a course. If I can just mention this, on 14, we were meant to have a national event because we have 2 athletes who are supposed to go for a big event, but because of the water, we had to stop until when maybe the water calmed down. So one also we're looking for long term is to set up our own course. Just finish a very event. He came on February. He got a very good position, number 3. Of course, he did not qualify for the Olympic direct because they are only taking the gold medal. But at least number 3, he was a very good position because he was competing also with the national, like Senegal, Morocco. I think those are the 2 countries actually which obtained the number 1 and number 2. And you see, this country, they live, like for example, they live in France. They never even go to Senegal or other place. So they are also very high profile because they have a very good facility. They have all the training all the time. So for Samuel, that was a very, very good position. So he has been doing very well. That's why we are identifying him as a talent. We still have other athletes, but for him, he is on a very, very high profile. I want to assure Samuel is the right person who will actually influence the sport. More so, he have also trained other upcoming young people, which is a very good thing because this is our policy for the slalom training. So if you become such a level for the training, you have to also to show the people that you're training. So this is one of the also tasks that we have. So you have to make sure we have other young people that you're training. So this is it is a part of the policy for the sport. It's important now for him to have a wild card. It's not given yet, but we have approached the relevant authority toward that. So we still have expectation because this will be a game changer for this canoe water sports. So yes, we are working on that. So we hope 2024. We are hoping maybe if we got the wild card, he will be in the Olympic. If not so, maybe we're also looking forward for the next Olympic because he's still young and he's still looking forward to do this.
Coach,
I will say, first of all, we have such a partner like people like you. This was one of the, I think, is one of the most instrumental tool The second thing is because number one, I heard about whatever he got actually as a gold, he will go for the equipment, which is difficult even to find, because sometimes you go to the ministry, they don't have money, they don't have funds. So if you have a partners who actually understand sport in that way, I think this will be also a game changer to the sport, even that they are not known, either it's football or rugby or our sport, canoe, kayak sports. So I think having a good partner who understand people, sportsmen, I think that is a good thing.
To support the extreme sports are niche sports that many Kenyans, many sports lovers out there never get to hear about or never get to follow. And to Gemini from the get-go, this is what we aimed to achieve. This is what we aimed to just evoke among our sports and amongst our talent. We've heard from Samuel today that they've gotten an exposure to many other platforms, they've gotten an opportunity, but because of inadequate support to help them steer forward to be able to achieve their dreams. In fact, in the African Championships, emerging third is not a mere feat. And that's exactly what Tujiamini aims to achieve, giving them the platform, giving them the exposure. And for us, it's not just about coming and giving them the money. What we aim to do is give them the platform, support them further, link them up to many other players in the sports sector, link them up to many more exposure, basically doing what SportPesa and what Tujiamini has always been best at, empowering our sports guys to be able to compete not only on the national stage but even the global stage, to just help steer Kenya and raise the flag even higher. Well, it's very interesting. I think Central Kenya for the longest time has not been known to be a hub of sports. So when we opened up to Gemini, it was a very deliberate move to ensure that Central Kenya was the first region that we were hitting to receive submissions from. So the month of March was open to Central Kenya, an exclusive for the gold, the Tujiamini gold and silver categories, as we saw. So we had hundreds and hundreds of submissions, people who were placing in their submissions and people who were telling us their stories on why they deserve to clinch the gold category in the Central Kenya region. So for us, we saw that there's a vision in place, basically looking at long term, what some of the achievements they aim to get in the long term. He was able to convince us that yes, he gave a shot in a trial for Olympics for 2024 coming later on this year, but then he didn't stop at that. He simply saw an opportunity to even inspire others, not just him alone, but we saw that he was part of a team bringing together raw talent from Central Kenya with a team of up to 20 plus. And this was not just a sport or a reserve of only the adults or only people of its age set. But then we saw that there's a longer vision in terms of the children that they even train to be able to go forward. And so we just tried to bring out that empowerment and even elevate that awareness of the sport, not only in Kenya, but even to inspire others across the country to embrace that.
I'm not shooting. Let me just shoot it instead before we do it. It's ready. Next, video for them.
Yeah. Sasa kuna difference between hii na hiyo nyingine ya yellow ama hii. Inaweza kaa hata for more than let's say 1.5 to 2 hours.
Miguu ikiwa hivyo.
Na uko umefunga mguu.
Nimezoea.
Na uko umefunga mguu.
Maana affecting your muscle. Maana.
Ndio maana una train.
Hata hiyo kuni lazima uwe na training ya. Yeah, sa ile kitu inakuaga hizi form tunaziset kulingana na size yako.
Hello.
Msiongeze. Wacheni kutingisha. Wacheni mwisho. Tuko sawa hivyo. Maintain hapo.
Shida hata ni kutingisha.
Wacheni kutingisha hii kitu bwana. Sasa hakuna picha tunapiga. Sasa kuna hizo tano munini. Tunabeba simiti saa hii kwa pande hii. Saa hii.
Move it.
Kama for hawa the friends kufanya tu the last one. So that our team kuna timu nyingine hapa hivi ya fashion. Akifanya all the stunts.
Team player.
Unaweza kuja forward kidogo Sami. Forward kidogo. Forward. Keep coming forward. Keep coming forward, Sami. That's okay.
Nice one.
Congratulations, by the way.
Sasa mimi nataka kuona zinda fanyaje ile uso yako kiasi.
They have not finished yet, Samuel.
Hapo basi, mimi uso sasa hapo. Nice. Safi.
So we can take a break for part 1.
Shinda ukitana na huko.
Sasa